Good evening, hockey fans. Welcome to Baierl Ice Complex here in Warrendale, Pennsylvania. It is PIHL hockey. It is Berg Hockey Live. It is North Allegheny and Bethel Park. Big contest for both of these teams as North Allegheny has a chance to wrap up a first-round home ice game in the postseason with a win today. But just as important on the opposite side, Bethel Park, slow start to the season, can take care of a little business tonight too, as with a victory, the Bethel Park Blackhawks can clinch at least a qualifier game with that 8th seed in the AAA standings. And with Mount Lebanon reeling right now, something they might want to pay attention to, especially that game's going to be looming in a couple weeks. I've actually got a special guest on with me today. It's Mr. Jeff Morrow. Jeff, how is everything going?
Pretty good, Mitch. Words for the wear. You have coming off a couple of tournament weekends and got the chance to see North Allegheny, which we'll have a chance to talk about a weekend ago, their last games that they played. And this is a rematch here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a rematch between two teams that were in the Penguin Cup semifinals a year ago, triple overtime. And the decider was Will Paraguayer that scored the game winner late into the after midnight down at RMU, and he sent North Allegheny to the Penguin Cup Finals, which they were successful in winning.
I actually had a run in with the guy who had to cover that game for us, Gary Heeman, one of our writers, was nice enough to step in for the high school side, and he told me on Saturday when we were at the Robert Morris game, hey, make sure you don't sign me to a game that I'm going to be out there till 3 o'clock in the morning again, because I think both the games in AAA went to overtime last season in the semifinals.
Yeah,
so.
Mount Lebanon and Peters Township as well. Yep.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting way, but of course tonight, a little bit, you got to get there at this point, and tonight's a big step for both of these teams. North Allegheny, first place has been theirs all season. It's been a little bit of a, hasn't too much going on. Last couple weeks, they've seen a little adversity coming on. Bethel Park, slow start to the season, picking it up as they move along. A lot of games in hand on, of course, 9th place Mount Lebanon right now, but they can be able to take care of business here tonight. And what can you say about the Bethel Park Blackhawks right now, the St. Margaret tournament champions coming into the season?
Yeah, and Bethel Park is coached by Jim McVeigh, who's now since 1998 is the coach. He's in his 23rd year. And one thing you're going to see with Jim McVeigh, we're going to have the national anthem here. We'll pick it up on that thought in a minute. Yeah, and, we were talking about Bethel Park, and, Jim McVeigh's been around a long time. And, the one thing that you're going to notice with his teams is they play defense. He commands back checking. He commands hard work. This is what probably a good pill for Mike Magnano and North Allegheny to see Mitch here, because they're looking forward to a grudge match that they prepares them for the playoffs. They were out in Notre Dame a week and a half ago and played 3 tough games out there. against some very, very quality opponents. And, so this is their first game back from Notre Dame.
Yeah, and we'll get back to that. Jeff Morrow, of course, is the voice you hear. He is to my right tonight. He's going to help me out on color commentary. I thank him today. We're going to go to the starters right now. It's going to be Luke Duda. He's a 3-4 on the season with an .849 save percentage. And it looks like it's going to be Tyler Boyles on the opposite side. 8-2 on the year, .922 save percentage with 2 shutouts.
Yeah, both these goaltenders. Boyles has come a long way. He and Bailey have kind of shared the duties for North Allegheny, but it looks like Boyles is going to be kind of the go-to guy for North Allegheny. Haven't watched a whole lot of Bethel, but, Jim usually has his goaltenders prepared as well. So this should be a good matchup.
Half the reason why I picked this game tonight is because of the fact I haven't seen Bethel yet, and it's going to be interesting because it was more important for the playoffs than anything right now. So the face-off was won by Bethel Park into the zone. It's going to be fought along the boards. We carry it around. Connor Chee's going to pass it across. And it's going to be passed out to Lamarck. Tyler Lamarck looking for Chi. Unable to get it. Coming the other way is Bethel Park. We'll get some names of these numbers. That was Joey Wondrisco just dumping it in deep. Hanlon will chase it, but leave it for Gallo. Trey Gallo, the freshman. Gets it over for Hanlon. Hanlon does it dump it out. Finds Paragary, who dumps it in deep behind the net. Going around, Duda will collect and pass it out. He picked up by Markle. Will battle along the boards. And Washabaugh will get it up, and that will be McClendon. Ryan McClendon passing along the boards, and out of the zone are the Blackhawks. North Allegheny will collect it, dump it back into their zone. Without the collect and dump it back out. O'Neill backing around. Mensch along the boards with Teets. In is Mark. Up for Fuchs along the boards. Fuchs passes it in. Mark up and around. O'Neill around on the backhand. Passes around. It goes through the crease. Sits up. Goes to Fuchs on the half wall. Fuchs dumps it around. Tries to find Washbaugh in front. Blocked in front by Bueller. And the Bethel Park Blackhawks will carry it out and dump it down the ice. Fuchs will collect it behind the net. Carl Fuchs will carry it out and around. Here it comes out of the zone, and it's going to bounce along the boards. Fuchs is going to chase it down. Nice little bounce for them into the zone. Fooled me on the camera. Backing around. Back in. Bethel Park will turn the other way. Luke McClendon carries it in. Throws it across. He's going to go past Fuchs, and North Allegheny will get a line change here. Go over. Back out. Sipple. Sipple will go into the zone. Near corner. Behind. Collect it out and neutral zone where Holmes will just dump it back in. And in comes Abel. Vince Abel will throw it across the center slot. Putnam chases that down. Nothing there. Down McClendon. Back to the point. Holmes takes shots on. Blocked. Bethel Park will turn and go the other way. Up the zone. Holmes battles in front. Puck's going to go back into the Bethel Park zone. Lang will chase it down. Lang will get a little bit of pressure from Paragary. Battled around. Lamarck comes on him, and Holmes collects it in the neutral zone. Just dumps it in off the top of the glass and held on to by Duda, and a face-off coming up to the right of the Bethel Park net.
Yeah, what you're going to see a lot of, Mitch, with Bethel Park is they play almost like a flower in the defensive zone. They send all 5 guys right to the middle of the ice. And what North Allegheny is going to have to do to separate that is to start to use their points. So we'll see if that opens up a little space against Bethel Park. But you see they pack it in pretty good with all 5 guys with Bethel Park.
Paragary tries to slide one through the crease, doesn't make it, so it bounces back up to the point. She will collect it, dump it behind the net. And that'll be Placio. Placio just can't get past Gallo, who takes a shot wide of the net. And cleared out by Bethel Park. Good play by Jake Cook. Back to neutral zone. Tyler Lamarck carries it in. Goes to slot. Shot just wide. Just high of the net.
Yeah, Lamarck can fire. He's got a rifle back there.
Here comes
so Bethel knows all about him.
Bethel Park turning the other way. Dumps it in behind the net. Gallo collects the puck. Passes it across the ice. Finds Hanlon. Hanlon. Like I said, at the beginning of the season, I spoke with Coach Mike Bagnotto. His big situation was, you lose a player like Duderstadt after graduating, but he was more worried about his, his back line and seeing how they played, especially with the goaltending, Karapandi moving on. And I'd say this year has been a good test for them and it's actually exceeded expectations. I spoke with him as much during the Scholastic tournament. So definitely a good little sign for North Allegheny moving along.
Yeah, North Allegheny has a couple kids that are veterans back there. Fuchs has played a lot of hockey with North Allegheny, as has Hanlon. So you'll see those guys in key situations. But I know Mike's very pleased with Gallo, his play, the freshman.
The freshman has been phenomenal in his rookie season. And right now he's 5th on the team in scoring, 6 goals and 9 assists for 15 points.
Yeah, they've been using him a little on the power play.
Solid numbers for him. He leads the team in power play goals with 4 goals.
Okay.
4 of his 6 came on the power play. 12:35 remaining in the first period. It's 0-0 here. Putnam will take that face-off win from Sipple, throw it through the crease. Duda didn't see it coming. Fuchs actually, they missed him in early part of the season. He was out with an injury.
Oh, yeah.
If I recall correctly. And they had to rely on some of their other younger defenders like Gallo. And unfortunately, he was able to make it back in the second half of the season. So that was good to have him back. I know he's a solid defender for Mike Bagnotto.
Mensch is another kid that's played. He played last year as a freshman. He's another kid that's done well for Mike.
Sipple will take it, pass it back into the corner. Putnam will collect it, throws it behind into the corner. It'll be collected by Bethel Park. Bethel Park will get it up to McClendon in the corner. Battle along there. Luke McClendon gets it out, but Abel will collect it on the half wall. Putnam battles in, throws it on net. Opportunity there, bounces off a Duda's pad and goes to the far corner. Out for Fuchs, but he's going to go the other way. Picked up by Bethel Park and into the zone. Battled on by Markle. And it'll be collected by North Allegheny, and they'll take it and throw it back down the ice. And it'll be collected by Bethel Park and dumped back in North Allegheny zone. No play. Pong enough to get an icing call. 11:09 remaining first period. Shots are 6-0 in favor of North Allegheny here.
Yeah, North Allegheny is establishing territorial advantage. And the one thing you'll see is they have good balance with their lines. They have Putnam with Sipple, and then you have the line with Paraguay and Lamarck. But this third line here is a bunch of younger guys. They were using Washabaw and Collinear a lot up at Notre Dame, and those guys played some real critical minutes. So Mike's getting ready for a little bit of a ride in the playoffs here, and good play there.
Nice shot there by Abraham, saved by Boyles. It's back out to the point where it's collected by North Allegheny and dumped in the zone. No icing on the play. Linear will go behind the net, battles along, and he'll go for Lamarck. Lamarck, nice little play to get around 2 defenders, throws it across the slot and just dumped in by Collinear. And on to the net. Duda will hold on to it with 10:29 remaining.
You always have to have 2 sets of eyes if you're a Bethel Park defenseman. And Tyler Lamarck could shoot the puck, but he's also a fine playmaker as well. And he and Paraguay complement each other. That's why Mike has them together. And Chi has been a really strong player as a first-year varsity player.
A sophomore, Connor Chi. Nice little keep there by North Allegheny out of the front. Tell you this much, the shots may be 7-1 right now, but the opportunity doesn't look like you're getting too many quality shots on Duda.
Yeah, that's the defensive mindset of Bethel Park.
And a long kept in. Here comes McClendon. Bounces back out. Paragary can't get to it. Dumps it in to the zone. Battled around. Hanlon will collect it. Passes out. Makes it all the way out for Chi. Chi can't grip it completely. It just goes past him, but a nice clearing attempt is blocked by Chi back to the top of the circle. The Gallo back to Chi, who lets it go for Lamarck. Down for Chi. It bounces up to the point. Gallo, nice play to keep it in. Gets it around for Chi. Gets it to Lamarck in the slot. Circling around, down behind the net. Here comes Paragary for the backhand. Nobody home. And in around, and Gallo dumps it in deep, and there'll be an icing call.
That little sequence right there, you saw them trying to set up Tyler Lamarck for North Allegheny. But Bethel Park, Jim McVay does his homework on every team that he plays, trust me. He has films. He knows who the top players are. And what you saw there was Ryan McClendon, number 23. I believe that's Ryan. Was setting up.
23 is Luke. 23 is Luke
okay,
McClendon.
My fault.
I knew between 22 and 23, I had a McClendon.
Yeah, they're both
So
McClendon.
it's easy to say, oh, turner over here for Washington. Washington shoots off of the glove and off the inside of the post, but stays out of the net, bounces in front of the crease. Mark couldn't get to it, and it's going to be picked up by Bethel Park and dumped into the zone. Behind the net, Boyles collected behind by Bethel Park. That was Strang. Strang up to the point for Bueller. It goes out of the zone. Masari will dump it to center, and they'll battle. Coming back in the other way was O'Neal, who just dumps it on net.
And you saw a fourth line there for North Allegheny. So what Mike's doing is he's expanding his horizons, and he's going to use his fourth line as well.
Sipple will bring it in behind the net. Looking to try to get that backhand. He gets it up to Holmes. Holmes shoots on the glove of Duda. It bounces out to the half wall, and here comes Bethel Park the other way. Bounces up. Gentile will get it over to Holmes. Holmes dumps it in. Putnam can't get to it. Dumped in. Offside needs to be negated. It's kept in nicely by Bethel Park, who just dumps it up to the point. Back out to Gentile. Gentile. Back for Holmes. Holmes dumps it in and out of the zone. Sorry about the camera shutting off there for a second. I hit a wire. Took 10 seconds to figure. It took about a half second to figure that out. Back down for Abel. And Bethel Park will try to turn the other way. Nice little play in front of the net for the Blackhawks. Gentile will carry it in, dumps it in behind the net, where it'll be collected by Lamarck's going to battle that one. I thought Bethel Park was going to get an easy play there. Gets it back to Hanlon. Hanlon blocked in front by Gunther. Battles in front and back into the zone. Luke McClendon will carry it in. Pass Lamarck. Shot. Save Boyles up off the Neshing. Face-off coming up to the left to Tyler Boyles.
Yeah, and you see McClendon there, the offensive ability and the speed. North Allegheny kind of got caught there, and McClendon almost made him pay. That was a nice shot, and fortunately for the North Allegheny goaltender, it hit his upper body.
Yeah, these two teams are going to feel each other out here tonight for a little bit, then to find out what they're going to have, what each team's going to give each other, because this is a possible first-round matchup in the postseason also. So you don't want to give too much away, but at the same time, you want to have the ability to win the game, because it's very important for both teams here.
Well, Mike Bagnato is well aware of that, and I talked to him before the game a little bit, and he's well aware. He knows all about Bethel Park, and he knows it's a one-game-and-out situation with the PIHL, which is the exciting part about the playoffs. That an A seed could possibly knock off a number one seed.
And with the parity that's been in AAA this season so far, nothing is far-fetched,
Well, you have two very experienced officials here. Denny Urban, who played at Robert Morris.
The Robert Morris legend.
Yeah, and Noah Brightbill is a very fine referee as well. So you have two very experienced officials here tonight.
Matt Geika's out there kicking himself. He's not calling a Denny Urban matchup tonight.
Uh-oh.
Hi, Matt. Behind the net, they battle around their feet. Bethel Park will collect, dump it across to center. Gallo will collect it. Gallo dumps it in. Ryan McClendon will let it go for Luke. Luke will take it, pass it up, just dumps it down, where they're going to chase it down.
Wondrisco's on the case. Wondrisco almost got there before the puck.
I'm surprised they didn't wave that one off the way that the battle was going. It got close enough there. I guess they wanted to make sure that nobody got injured. But that was a close one. There was a good battle for that puck. Wondrisco kind of threw the defender off, thinking that he was going to let it go.
Yeah.
And then he gunned it, and the defender had to go. Face-off won by North Allegheny, but Bethel Park will collect it out of the zone. And here come the Blackhawks. Dumps it in on net. Boyles will take it. Pass it out for Mensch. Mensch for Kalinier. Oh, picked away by Abraham. Abraham in the corner, passes it across. That wasn't Abraham, that was, I apologize, Eiter. Back out for Fuchs behind the net. Fuchs passes it around. That's Abraham now. Throwing in front, McClendon. Ryan McClendon shoots, save, Boyles.
Nice
Big
save there.
Yeah, he had to have a little extra effort on that one. The last second, I don't know if it hit something or the direction changed on him or he didn't think it was coming in that way. But he was able to adjust to that one last second.
One thing about the McClendon brothers, they could shoot the puck. And they've scored quite a few goals for Bethel Park this year.
Absolutely. And out of the zone. Collected by Mensch. Mensch will dump it off of the penalty box glasses behind the net, and we'll have an icing call. Yeah, the McClendon brothers have combined for 11 goals for Bethel Park. Wondrisco leads the team with 13. So the McClendon brothers.
Wondrisco, he's come to the forefront. He was a complimentary player last year, but he's really stepped to the forefront for Jim McVeigh this year.
Face-off coming up. One back by Bethel Park. Shot on, tipped in front. Nice tip by Teets. Out shot on, just wide of the net. Down. Chased down by Wondrisco. Oh, so that's Markle. Shot on by Wondrisco. That was actually Wondrisco that time and out of the zone for Bethel Park.
Yeah.
Like I said, sometime these numbers will attach themselves to the names. So shot on. Nice save. Opportunity there by Teets. Couldn't put it in the net.
Nice push here by Bethel Park. A couple of real nice chances.
Putnam will come in. Broken down. Nice play there to break up the opportunity there. Putnam's been so good on the transition this season that you have to respect that. When he's lost a glove in the crease, Holmes will collect it, dump it along. Carry in by Sipple. Sipple. Puck got lost in a couple feet.
Yeah, and you see Bethel Park packing it in. They got to start. North Allegheny's going to have to start using their points a little bit more and try to spread out Bethel Park.
Gentile,
Bethel's they're back packing it in here.
Gentile tried to line up Wondrisco in a neutral zone. Nothing happened there. Chi going to take it, bounce it in front of the Bethel Park net. And in, and they're going to call an icing here with 3:50 remaining in the first period.
And you see that most of the good chances have come from the point today. I mean, Holmes had a nice shot from the center point there, and it rattled Bethel a little bit. Maybe North Allegheny has to start using the points a little bit more.
Yeah. You're going to have to start creating some offense because they're just shutting everything down from the circles down. You're going to have to start using some of those shots on the defense. Hanlon shoots it in, and it's going to be tipped out of play. Face-off coming up out of, are they calling out of the zone, or are they calling it to the left?
That's going to be
They're going to stay in the zone. It's going to be went off of Bethel Park stick.
Yep.
3:45 remaining first period. Face-off to the left, Lamarck. And it goes out of the zone. Here comes Masari. Bounces it around Gallo. Chase it behind. Collects it himself. Gets it out. Looks for McClendon. Paragary will collect that and get it up to Gallo. Gallo up for Chi. Chi for Lamarck. Opportunity, Paragary. Lamarck plays it, but he lets it go instead of trying to put it on net. So Hanlon will collect it down into the corner. Paragary. Bethel Park will take it. Hanlon will block it. Battle along the boards. And still continuing the battle. Stayed onside. It's going to go into the corner. Collected by Lamarck. Goes in with McClendon. Ryan McClendon and Tyler Lamarck. McClendon battles along there. Goes out for Chi. Chi can get to it. Bethel Park just absolutely snuffing out any opportunity off of the wall that North Allegheny is trying to create early here. Hanlon for Gallo, but it's going to be picked up by Wondrisco and dumped in behind where Hanlon will take it. Almost turned it over to Teets. Up for McClendon. McClendon shoots, bounces around, sits off the stick of Boyles, who lost it for a second, but is able to go to a defender and knocked it down the ice, where it'll be collected by Placio. Placio out to center. Shot in on a weird bounce by O'Neill. Go out for Fuchs. Fuchs dumps it in. Washabaugh bounces it around. Nothing here. 2 minutes remaining in the first period. Fuchs back down. Going to go in the slot. O'Neal with an opportunity here on the backhand. Duda loses it, but it stays around. Bounces around. Another save without knowing it by Duda. Nice play there. Still 0-0. Coming behind. Ryan McClendon. And clears it down the ice. And we'll have ourselves another face-off in deep.
Yeah, and you see with that rebound, all 5 Bethel Park players were head on toes. They were on their toes. They were looking to get that puck away from the crease so that Duda didn't have to face a rebound opportunity. And it's tough to play against, but you got to be patient, and you have to start using your points and start rotating the puck with the point men.
Berg Hockey Live. I'm Brian Mitchell. That is Jeff Morrow. This is our coverage of PIHL hockey. It's Bethel Park and North Allegheny. Winner gets a little bit of a reprieve for the postseason. North Allegheny gets an opportunity to play a home game with a win here tonight. Bethel Park going to play at least, at minimum, a qualifier game for the 8th spot. So they'll be able to clinch with a point if they were able to win tonight after this game. Putnam will collect it and carry it into the zone. Putnam shoots through a screen. Luke McClendon with the screen on his goaltender. Saved by Duda. Now for Sipple. Sipple passes it around, finds Abel. 1 to go in this one. First period. Luke McClendon will carry it out across the blue line behind for Holmes. Holmes. You get to it. He's going to collect it. Get tied up behind the net, but they let that go. Teets will just dump it in. Get chased down. Holmes will just pass it down the ice. Will it make it far enough? Will it? Will it? Nope. 37 seconds remaining. They wave off the icing for the touch. Chi can't get to it. It's going to go the other way. Off behind. Shot on just wide of the net by Bethel Park. It was an opportunity for Markle. Up. Holmes will collect it. Throws it up. Hits it off of...
Did you have your glove on, Brian?
I did not have my glove on. It hit off of the...
Pitchers and catchers reported today for baseball. So.
Yes, they did. It hit off of the heating element here and bounced. Like if it didn't hit the heating element, it was coming my way.
I knew you had me covered, partner.
I was going to hit me before it hit you. I'm just afraid of what it was going to hit after it hit me.
Yeah.
Face off one back by North Allegheny in a defensive zone. Chi will try to collect it on the point, lets it go out of the zone. Nice play there. Paragary tries to make a play on it with 7 seconds to go. They'll carry it into the zone. Gallo will just dump it in behind the net. 3, 2, 1, and that's the end of the first here with the score. North Allegheny 0, Bethel Park 0.
Yeah, pretty well played first period. I mean, North Allegheny has a shot advantage, but Bethel Park had a couple pushes there, Mitch, where they created some offense for the points. McClendon's both had good chances. Broyles actually had to make a nice save on the one shot by Luke McClendon that came from the left-hand side. And, that's what Bethel Park, they're patient. They're looking for that one goal to put them ahead, and then they'll lock it down and play defense. So, Mike, I think Mike's talking to his team about maybe a little quicker shifts, about moving the puck to the points. That's what and on the other side, Jim McVeigh he's happy with what's going on here. He'll take 0-0 all day.
Especially against a high-octane offense like North Allegheny, who can put them up in droves from any of their lines now.
Yeah, and I mentioned earlier, you saw that the matchup earlier, that Lamarck from the right side, and they had McClendon stationed over there. They want McClendon to be defending against Lamarck because Lamarck could kill you. He's a terrific player and a terrific shooter, as is Putnam. Paraguayer's another kid. Sipple. North Allegheny has a lot of offense, and so you have to choose your poison. And they've decided that they're gonna try to shut down Lamarck at this point. Yeah,
they're definitely. We were talking about any opportunities they've been getting haven't been quality opportunities. Every time you think you get a rush like they usually do with like a Tyler Putnam going through the slot or coming up across the top of the circle and cutting across, they just seem to have one or two players in the way of that, and it's just a nice little pickup by Bethel Park here to keep this one. And this is what they're going to need to do in the postseason, because if you look at the teams that are in right now, they're all offensive teams out there.
Oh yeah,
they can all fill the net.
I tell you, the real surprise to me is Upper St. Clair. They've really done a great job. transitioning from the AA level. They made the Penguin Cup a year ago. But Mike Bazinski, he's done a heck of a job down there. And Upper St. Clair is going to be a team to be reckoned with in the playoffs.
I think that was the one team that I was looking at because they lost a dynamic forward in Anthony Carone to the Penguins elite. Hold on, Putnam brings it in. Big save by Duda. Bounces around, shot through and cleared down the ice. And, you lose a player like Carone who put up big numbers in AA last season. You didn't know how you were going to replace it. But they did it by committee down there.
Oh,
Geinzer
sure.
came in this season and is having a phenomenal year. And Upper St. Clair, they're absolute contenders. And North Allegheny, that's the other reason this game is so big for them. Upper St. Clair's right on their tail.
Well, yeah,
with a game in hand. So
you have Cannon McMillan that's having a great year.
Mm-hmm.
They've really resurged. The team that that I don't think anybody wants to face is Erie Cathedral Prep. We'll talk about that in a minute.
You turn the calendar to the next year on the schedule, and Cathedral Prep always seems to have the upper advantage on everybody else.
Yeah.
That's a team, especially if they get that first round home game. You got to travel up. You got to make the travel. Then you got to play a team that just has it in the second half. A part of that is getting their football players back after after the season ends.
Well, Jake Krzyzewski and Jordan Adams are having tremendous years. Both terrific players.
Mm-hmm.
We'll let you get back to the action here, Mitch.
All right. Tyler Putnam will carry it out of the zone in and around. He's got a stick in his, and they're going to call him on that. That's going to be a tripping call coming up against Nolan Palacio, getting the stick in the feet of Tyler Putnam on the transition. And he's a shifty little player. We can end up talking about him every time that we cover North Allegheny.
Putnam's a hard worker, and he plays with a lot of spirit. He's a spirited player, and he's a great kid to talk to off the ice. He's all about North Allegheny hockey right now. And this is a potent power play with Lamarck at the point, Paraguay up front, and you'll see Chi on the left side and Gallo, the freshman, at the point. So let's see if North Allegheny can generate some offense here.
They like to move the puck. One thing I've learned over the time watching North Allegheny, they like to move the puck. McClendon with a little push of Chi into the corner. Mark throws it in front. Saved by Duda. It's going to be bounced back out of the zone and all the way down on shorthanded. Gallo will have to collect. 15:35 remaining in the second period. 0-0 is your score. North Allegheny on the first power play of the contest. Shot on by Bethel Park. That was Masari. And it's going to be kept in, and they're going to have to battle into the near corner. Behind for Gallo.
You're seeing a pretty aggressive penalty kill
Masari.
at Bethel Park here.
Yeah. Masari with that opportunity. They just continue to throw the pucks on the net from every angle on the ice, vertically, horizontally, however they feel like it. I'm pretty sure if he really felt like trying to do it diagonally, falling down, he would have done it too.
Yeah, terrific work there. And you saw one player back out at center ice. North Allegheny was stretching the ice, but you see all three Bethel Park players down there causing havoc. And a terrific penalty killing effort by Bethel Park.
Great job. Luke McClendon will step in. And they're going to wave off. They thought they needed Fuchs out there, but they didn't. They send him back. McClendon will lose the face-off to Sipple. Lamarck will take it behind the net. Lamarck carries it up for Sipple. Sipple into the zone. Behind Tyler Sipple. Tries to throw it in front. Can't get past the block. Abel will get it up to Lamarck. Lamarck, top of the slot. Over for Fuchs. Back to Lamarck at the point. Tossed down. Washabaugh got a stick on that. I thought it was high from my point of view. Referees say no, so they let it go into the zone. Fuchs will collect it behind the net. Fuchs, go ahead.
Washabaugh's a kid that Mike seems to be pretty high on. He's a freshman. He's really come on the second half of the season and given him a lot of good minutes. So you'll be seeing a lot of Washabaugh 32.
All right, here comes Sipple. We collected by Bethel Park and thrown back to center. We're in front of the North Allegheny bench. They'll fight over it. We go back into the zone, and Bethel Park will just dump it down. It takes me a second to register the numbers. They've got the blackout numbers on the shoulder here for Bethel Park. So
I'm gonna introduce you to my cue cards, Mitch.
He's gonna try to teach me how to do this.
The cue cards have big numbers and big letters and everything. They're about 11 by 17, and I don't leave home without them.
Well, here comes Bethel Park the other way, but it's going to be turned over in the zone. O'Neal overskates it, but gets it up for Leitner. Leitner will dump it in, where Mark will chase it down, but back out for Fuchs. Fuchs bounces around. Down and carried in by Wondrisco. Joey Wondrisco gets it over, finds Robbie Abraham. Back for Wondrisco, out to the point. It'll be Markle, just throws it through. Battled off. Back out and cleared out of the zone, but not too far, as Bethel Park will battle it around, where O'Neal will collect it and dumps it onto his own bench. Throws an absolute howitzer that almost takes Mellett's head off on the bench. He's still trying to sneak up from behind the net, behind the, the wall there.
I'm glad that didn't come this way, Mitch.
That came this way. This broadcast is over.
We're in trouble.
This broadcast is over before we can even get close to starting.
Well, one thing you saw there is after the power play, Mike Magnato had his fourth line out there just to send a message to the bench. You know, and those guys gave him a good couple minute and a half shift or a minute shift. And, you know, Mike's trying to rally his troops. It's going to take a lot of effort to score against Bethel Park, and they need hard work to do that.
Battle behind the net will be collected by North Allegheny up to the point. Gentile will get it over for Chi, who lets it go behind for Paragary. Paragary lets it go for Lamarck. They'll battle along. Paragary for Lamarck, and they're going to continue to fight off that ferocious Bethel Park forecheck behind the net. Here comes the Blackhawks. Lamarck passes it out for Gentile, who finds Chi. Lamarck turning the other way, waits for it, finds Chi, but he lets it go for Paragary. Bounces it around. Chi, top of the circle, gets hit nicely. That was by Eider behind the net. Lamarck up for Gentile. Cross for Holmes. Holmes shoots. Just stays a little bit short of the net. Back behind for Lamarck. Battled off by Bethel Park, who just dumps it up. And Eider will take it, carries it in, and dumps it deep. Gets a line change. Gentile behind the net. All the way down the ice, past a bunch of players, so they're going to call no icing here. Behind the net will be Placio, passing it up for Gunther. But that's going to be Markle letting it go for Placio. They'll battle in center. And Ryan McClendon will collect it behind the net, where it's going to bounce in. It kept in nicely by Sipple. Abel couldn't get to it first, so Bethel Park will collect it and dump it to center. Hanlon bounces it deep in behind the net. Bethel Park just trying to get out of the zone. Big hit by Sipple. Seeing who he hit over there.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And that was Markle. He hit Markle. Back to Hanlon. Hanlon shoots low and wide for Gallo on the near wall. Passes it back. It's going to be Abel behind the net. Going to be battled off by Placio. Bethel Park will take it. Markle can't get it up the zone. Gallo battles with Sipple. Back and across and up for Hanlon, who just dumps it to Putnam. They'll battle in front of the line, and they'll go behind and cleared back to center. They're going to play Pong a little bit, and Bethel Park will turn and go the other way. Ryan McClendon brings it in, shoots it wide of the net. It's going to go around. They kept in, and Markle couldn't keep it. It's going to go to Mark. Mark will carry it in. Rubbed off by Bueller. And McClendon will carry it the other way. Ryan McClendon takes it in, shoots it just wide of Boyles. Still 0-0 here, 9:35 remaining in the second period. Bethel Park will just take it. Wondrisco will just dump it into the zone. Fuchs will battle off with Luke McClendon. Be passed in by Teets, and Washabaugh will go the other way. Finds O'Neal. Washabaugh to O'Neal. 2 players on every player at any time. It just seems like when you try to get the offensive rush on Bethel Park. Mondrisco will carry it in there. He was offside by
about a few feet. But, you know, that's the style that Bethel Park plays. They're going to always have you outnumbered in the defensive zone. That's how they do it. It's guaranteed with Jim McVay, how he coaches this team, that you must back check. It's a prescription for 5 state championships that they've won under his realm. And you know what? Some of the numbers change, the names change, but the philosophy doesn't.
North Allegheny will win the faceoff forward. Chi will carry it in, dumps it on. Oh, shot by Paragary that I didn't even see happening. Here comes Bethel Park the other way. Nice block by Fuchs to keep the opportunity from Bethel Park at a minimum. Back to Fuchs, carries it in front of his own net. Over for Chi. Connor Chi circles off of Abraham. Passes it up, finds Lamarck. Nice little play to get it to Tyler Lamarck. Cross looking for Paragary. He's going to sit out front of the net. Dumped in. Bethel Park will just take it. High stick on the play. They're going to wave it off. Paragary in the zone. Chi over for Lamarck. Behind that Chi shot. Just a little bit wider than he wanted it to be to get it on Duda. I'm not sure if Duda got a pad on that or not, or just went slightly wide of the net. McClendon will collect it, and in front of the net, they'll battle. It goes in where Gentile will take it, pass it over for Holmes. Holmes passes it up for Chi. Chi comes in offside.
One thing you saw in that shift there, Paraguayer, Lamarck, and Chi were moving the puck around pretty well. So it did open up some opportunities. That's one way of doing it. If you have quick transition, quick passing, you're able to open Bethel Park up. So that was a really good shift right there.
Face-off won by Bethel Park and dumped in behind by Bueller. Gentile holds on to it, passes it around for Holmes. Holmes up for Putnam. Putnam. Sipple lost track of that puck as he was looking for the pass. Holmes is going to collect it, throw it across the ice where Abel will take it, carry it into the zone, leaves it for Sipple. Sipple shoots, blocked by Bethel Park. Back down for Gentile. Down, and Putnam will try to battle off. He takes down a player on transition, and no penalty on that. Putnam will collect it. Going the other way. Nice pass for Sipple. Shot just high and goes wide of the net. Down and around. In the near wall, Putnam gets pulled down by Luke McClendon. The referee's arms will stay down, so they're not going to call anything there. Abel will battle with Bueller. And they'll bounce back out. Luke McClendon and O'Neill can't get to it. Holmes will throw it behind the net. Nobody home. Abel collects it into the far corner. Back up to the point. Holmes can't collect that one. It's going to go the length of the ice. Wondrisco is going to chase it down, but it's going to be an icing call. 6:34 remaining second period. Shots are now 16-10. Bethel Park's starting to come back into it.
Close the gap on the shots. And again, it's almost hard to play against when you're playing Bethel Park, but they just continue to be disciplined in their defensive stance, and they're taking their chances when they get them. And you saw a terrific penalty killing effort by Bethel Park on that first power play for North Allegheny.
Absolutely. Face-off won by Bethel Park. The Blackhawks will take it, pass it up to Gunther. Gunther will carry it in and dump it into the near corner. Collected and shot on by Masari. Gets it through Markle and North Allegheny. And it looks like Mellett is a marked man on that bench, because I believe that was the second puck that almost hit him.
He might want to borrow Bailey's catcher's mitt over there.
Yeah.
If he's going to have to face shots, he may have to borrow some goaltending equipment.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he said something to somebody in the locker room or what happened there, but unfortunately, he's just been marked twice on a clearing attempt by his own team. Face-off one, back and forth where North Allegheny will collect it, just dump into the zone. Back and around. It's going to be picked up by Abraham. Abraham lets it out. Strang can't get to it, so Paragary will. Paragary carries it behind the net. Throws it behind the net where Palacio bounces it around. Here we go, where Lamarck, top of the circle, goes to the point. Gallo, cross for Lamarck, cuts the slot, bounces around, picked up by Paragary, score! 1-0 North Allegheny. Just a nice little play to collect it and see what we got on the replay. But for now, it's 1-0 North Allegheny. Just created a lot of confusion in front. Paragary went back to the point, handed it over to Gallo. Gallo waited for it, passed it across for Paragary, who threw it into the slot. Bounced around a little bit, and Paragary was able to just put it away on a rebound.
Yeah,
and it's 1-0.
And you see they use of the point. Gallo made a nice play, a nice give and go there with Lamarck. And that's what ended up in the net.
So that's a way you're going to have to break a Jim McVeigh defense. Hope
well,
for
that's
those.
One way.
Yeah, one way to do it.
Yeah.
Opportunity there. Chi's going to go off for a penalty. Took a little bit too much.
Well, you get a chance to see Jim McVeigh's power play, and you'll see the McClendon brothers at the point when Driscoll down low.
Face-off coming up at center. Yeah, Chi's going to go off here. Go ahead.
Like Luke McClendon's going to be up front and Ryan on the back line when Driscoll set up wide.
McClendon has a hard time with it. Mark almost made him pay, but Ryan McClendon will collect it, pass it over to brother Luke. Luke will carry it out of the zone. Waits for it. Back to Ryan for Luke. 4:53 remaining in second period. Shot on by Ryan McClendon. Goes behind the net. Where Eiter set up. Back up for Ryan McClendon. Over for Juan Driscoll. Switches sides, and it's going to be turned around, and Sipple's going to take it and just dump it down the ice. All the way on Duda. 1:22 remaining in the penalty.
Yeah, Juan Driscoll had a tough handle there. He lost control of the puck.
Luke McClendon will carry it in. Back for brother Ryan. Blocked by Paragary and out of the zone. Immediately gets all over Ryan McClendon, who has to backtrack and then bring it back into the zone. Gentile will take it. Couldn't get enough on it to get it around. Fuchs will battle off with Eiter. Shot on by Juan Driscoll. Bounces around a couple players. Juan Driscoll will get it out to the point. Luke McClendon. Back down for Juan Driscoll. Back for McClendon. Luke shoots. Saved by Boyles. Through a lot of traffic, but it was very visible. From our angle, I had a view right down Main Street there. Luke tries to throw it in offside. They're going to have to get onside. Markle just lets it go. And North Allegheny just hold on to it, then dump it the length of the ice. 25 seconds remaining in the penalty. Luke McClendon carrying it out of his own zone. Sticked off by Washabaugh, goes the length of the ice. That one looked like it might have been ticketed my way once again today. We'll let that go. Backing around. It'll be Teets. Tries to pass it around. Nice play by Geronimo's. To the point. Miller. Down for Teets. Before Geronimo's in front. Can't get to it. Holmes will take it. Miller will just dump it behind. Tyler Miller. Geronimo's is battling with Gentile in front. He picked up by Miller.
There.
Good shot. Just goes a little bit high enough for Boyles to collect it, and they'll have to collect the penalties over. 2:45 remaining in the second period.
Good power play there for Bethel Park. A lot of shots from the point.
Thought they moved the puck well in that one. I thought
Absolutely.
They had the right idea of what they needed to do.
They were running some traffic in front. They just didn't get anything through.
Gallo will collect it, gets it over to Hanlon. Across for Chi. Chi behind the net, battled off, but it's going to come the other way. Juan Driscoll's going to come the other way. Up 1-1-1. 1-on-1 shoots. Save Boyles. Gallo can't get it in.
No, Juan Driscoll was shot out of a cannon there, boy.
Just split the defense, and it didn't seem like anybody was going to have a chance to get him the way he was moving. Boyles had the answer, though, as he came in on net. Hanlon will pass it out, finds Putnam. Putnam will just let it go past Chi. Will chase it down from behind. Chi battles off with Lang. Goes around and picked up by McClendon. for Chi. He's going to pick it up at the point. Paragary will take it, dump it into the near corner. Back and around. Chi will block the clearing attempt. Back out. Back to Mensch. Mensch battles along, and it's going to be picked up by Lamarck. Lamarck, broken play here. Got an opportunity as McClendon will take it in his near corner, dump it up the slot. And here comes Wondrisco once again. Takes it in, dumps it off of Mensch. Mensch will collect it. Gets it behind for Fuchs. Fuchs for Mensch. He just dumps it off the boards, looking for Lamarck, who leaves it for Chi. McClendon's there. Luke McClendon having an answer for basically every rush in the last 2 minutes that North Allegheny tried to accomplish. Wondrisco brings it into the zone, throws it behind the net. Fuchs. Hold on, I lost the stream. Okay, we're good.
Good.
Goes out of the zone for Chi. Chi in. Backhand, Sipple, missed. Sorry for the interruption in the thing. Wi-Fi is a fickle thing here. We'll try to continue to do the best I can. I'll pay attention to the feeds. I don't know how long we missed. Couldn't have been a couple more.
A couple seconds.
Yeah.
Good.
Back down. Here we go. Wondrisco offside. 24.9 seconds remaining, second period.
The one thing you've seen here with Bethel Park now, the goal being down a goal, it's forced them to open it up a little bit. So now what you're seeing is they're going to stretch Wondrisco, and they're going to use McClendon up front a little bit. So it forces Jim McVeigh's hand to try to create some offense, and it may open up more opportunities for North Allegheny.
Face-off coming up to the right of the Bethel Park net. Knocked out for Holmes. Cleared down along the boards. 15 seconds to go. Chased down by Teets. Behind for Gentile. McClendon attempts to take another shot. I think Luke McClendon's been out there for 15 of the 17 minutes in this period. Back out and cleared in, and it's 1-0 North Allegheny after 2 here. What do you got for me on that period?
Well, I'll tell you what, Bethel Park outshot North Allegheny in that period, first of all. That was the second thing. And the second thing is the game's opened up a little bit, you know, which is good for North Allegheny and it's bad for North Allegheny because Bethel Park can score some goals. And so it'll be interesting. It's a 1-0 game. It's anybody's ball game. The next goal, of course, is huge. Mike Magnata would wrap this one up in a bow and take the 1-0 victory. But I'm sure Jim McVeigh has some things up his sleeve for the third period. There's no question. I think the goaltending's been very good. There's been a couple of long shots that could have found their way in. And, you know, this is a classic playoff game, Mitch. It's really what it is.
Teams are starting to get ready for those, and it seems more and more that both of these teams are going to be facing each other in that first round. So as we move along, we've only got 3 weeks left in the regular season, and
well,
find out.
Let's get some thoughts on the playoff rush here.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Grill me.
I mean, let's talk Upper St. Clair first. I think Upper St. Clair's had a fine season. Mike Kaczynski's done a great job with that team. They build a lot of numbers with the USC program. They have a lot of front-end players that are younger guys that you know, a lot of people don't know about. And I think Upper St. Clair is an interesting team going into these playoffs.
Yeah, Upper St. Clair, you look at the teams that moved up, the 2 teams that moved up, Pine Richland and Upper St. Clair. And Pine Richland right now, probably the best position of any of the teams with all the games they have in hand and the way that they're playing. Who knows what they're going to do for the damage in the postseason, because they can finish anywhere from second. I think they can't finish. They can finish second if North Allegheny wins tonight and Upper St. Clair's. But I mean, anywhere from second to 8th at this point, because with as many games with 3 weeks to go. But those 2 teams moving up, Upper St. Clair, they just play a wide open style of hockey that works.
Yeah,
and they can score the goals. But the one thing I've noticed about Upper St. Clair is, and my concerns with them is how they're going to stop the goals, especially some of these offensive teams.
Right, and you know, Mike's been rotating the goaltenders there, Rourke and the names escape me.
Fisher,
and he's used all 3 goaltenders throughout the season, and you know, he's going to have to make a choice. He made the choice of Rourke last year, and it paid off for him. He ended up in the Penguin Cup final. And then Rourke, he struggled a little bit in that Penguin Cup, but that was a high-powered Pine Richland team. I mean, that was one of the better teams that you're going to see in a Double-A level for a long time. But going over to Pine Richland, you got Danny Stauffer, who was arguably one of the better goaltenders in all of high school hockey last year, and he's got a state championship in his belt. And, you know, that team lost a lot. They lost Jordan Rosenbaum, and they lost Will Stutt. They lost quite a few players. But Pine Richland still has a lot of firepower on that team. And I think that they could be a team that's a sleeper that, you know, any of 6 or 8 teams are going to be in the mix. And we're not even talking about Seneca Valley, who's really fallen on some hard times here in the last month. But, you know, they're going to be in the playoff picture. So
they're already in.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. The team that I look at as my dark horse are the Ramblers of Cathedral Prep. And, you know, I've watched them play all season. They won the Governor's Cup up at Jamestown, defeated North Allegheny in the semifinals, defeated North Allegheny a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
In a really high-spirited game. And they're looking at the 4th or 5th seed. And as you said, you hit it right on the nail on the head, Mitch. If they get a home game, that's a tough building to play in, to go to Mercyhurst on a Tuesday night for an 8 o'clock game. You know, Jordan Adams, they have Krzyzewski, the goaltending, you know, Seth Faulkner. He's off and on, but he's shown that he can, you know, play very well.
He can steal a game.
Yep, he can steal a game. So the 4th and 5th seed thing, that battle right now is a really important battle, because what happens is if Cathedral Prep does win on and all the top seeds advance, then you're looking at a Cathedral Prep North Allegheny matchup in that semifinal game, possibly, and that's really interesting to me.
Yeah, then that's what you look at that. And I mean, if you get them in the 4-5 matchup, you mean you're looking at the possibility of anybody from Cannon McMillan to Peters Township. If Seneca can win a couple games here. I mean, you know, I don't even want to look at, you know, tiebreakers until the final week. I told myself I'm not even going to bother, because it's all over the place, because some of those tiebreakers are going to come down to points.
Well, I'll tell you.
I mean, the penalty minutes. So
one team you just touched upon is Peters Township, and I'm going to tell you right now, they've been playing all year. They've been using platoon in goal. They haven't really locked it down on their starting lineup, but he's dressing 30 players, you know, throughout the lineup. And, you know, you have the Lehman kid, he's a heck of a player, and the 2 Wilbert brothers. Boy, that's a good team.
3 Wilberts.
Yeah, the Wilbert
2 on the forwards,
and not to mention the sister who has had 2 goals and 1 assist in her first varsity game. They may suit her up.
Yeah.
And she's tough. She's good. She's headed to play some Division I hockey, girls hockey, Katie. And, it's terrific. It's a terrific story, that family, and a great group, great mother and father. I've met them several times. I've had the chance to deal with them, and they're a joy to deal with, those people. And Peters Township is only a couple years removed from a state championship, where Wilbert was the goaltender as a freshman.
That's what we said last. We were watching every time we watched Pine Richland and Peters Township. When's the last time you get to see 2 state championship winning goaltenders in a matchup in a regular season? And that's a treat to be able to watch that. So, yeah, AAA. We look at that, and I'm actually going to do my scoreboard here in a second, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Bring you up to date on what's going on out there. Big game that means something to the game after this. Central Valley and Avonworth. Wilmington leads Baierl 4-3 in that game. What it means for our next game, if Wilmington wins the game and Baierl loses, Central Valley would need to beat Avonworth and still have an opportunity to make the postseason, because they play Baierl next week. They would get a head-to-head tiebreaker with them, I believe, is what ends up happening, or they're tied or something along those lines. So it's a huge game next week at Brady's Run. If that score does happen, like we have the Avonworth and the Central Valley game up next on Berg Hockey Live. That's our next broadcast up right after this one. So that's a huge game if you're paying attention to the Class B standings right there. Ringgold.
A couple of new programs there.
Yeah.
Avonworth, Wilmington. It's exciting for those kids, you know, to be in a playoff push like this.
put it in a much closer than you thought it could possibly be. Ringgold and Connellsville. 3-2 Ringgold right now in the third period. A lot closer than anybody thought that might have been. Ringgold's been running over teams all season so far. So that one's a good one. Of course, our second game is Central Valley and Avonworth.
Well, we had a chance to see Ringgold play against North Allegheny in this Classic Showcase. And Ringgold's a heck of a team. Rick Kalinowski's done a terrific job with that program. They're coming off a championship win last year. They're going to be the favorites, I think, to win the Class B.
They had their way with Neshannock when they played Neshannock earlier this season. It was a 7-1 final or something. It wasn't even close. And with Neshannock, I think their only loss on the season is that they had to forfeit a game to Erie McDowell. So I'm sorry, the second loss of the season was the McDowell. So the other loss that they had was because they played with 8 junior varsity players and they only allowed 6 to call up. So all right, so in single A right now, Bishop McCourt leading South Park 4-2. That's huge for everybody else in the single A South right now. Sorry, Southwest right now, because South Park on a little bit of a tizzy, falling a little bit, but you got Chartiers Valley, North Hills. You're going to start putting them in range here if you continue to drop games this late in the season. And McCourt, they're in a battle right now with Norwin in their division.
Well, in Greensburg-Salem. I'll tell you
Salem.
Salem, what a turnaround for that hockey program. And I think the kid's name's Linderman. It had the 7 goals.
Brendan Linderman.
Brendan Linderman had 7 goals the other night against South Park. They dismantled South Park, which I was very surprised. But that's a team. Greensburg-Salem is coming in a hot team. If they can somehow work their way into the playoff picture against Norwin or Bishop McCourt, there's a hot team coming into the playoffs.
They're just on the outside looking in. Bishop McCourt is battling Norwin right now, but one of those two teams is going to move along. So, you don't know what's going to happen in that 2-3 side. Yeah. All you got to do is tie at this point, and you get that opportunity to play in. Okay, so we move into Class AA. Couple games on the docket. Don't have any score on a big game when it comes to Hempfield and South Fayette. No score so far. But Quaker Valley trailing Greater Latrobe 5-0. The Quakers having an opportunity to seal up their division here. But Latrobe, they're just an absolute they're just running over.
I'm going to tell you, Vinny Amatucci's in between the pipes. Latrobe's going to be a tough team to beat going forward. But let me tell you, I had a chance to watch Hempfield play last week. That's a team that can put pucks into that. So, that I think they're a shoe-in to get in that second spot in that division up there. I think that Franklin and Penn Trafford are on the outside looking in right now.
Yeah, it's tough for Franklin. They've been sitting on looking at that game, that second seed all season, and then at the end of the season, I think they lost twice to Hempfield, and that's what's going to be their undoing, their unraveling here.
They've lost 4 in a row, and they're looking at 5, 6, and 7 coming up because they got to play Latrobe, Penn Trafford, and West Allegheny. It's going to be a tough season for the Panthers. They're on a 5-year playoff run, Franklin Regional, and I think this is going to be a year that they sit out the postseason.
Yeah, and we talk about that playoff run. That's something to behold at this point, especially when you're talking about single A, double A moving along up, and, how they've continued to grow that the championship run a couple years ago, So you look at that program and, did you expect to see them in this year? It was a tough division if you think about it. I kind of saw Penn Trafford coming on this season.
Yeah.
I liked how they looked at the Greensburg-Salem tournament the previous beginning of the season. Just didn't coalesce for them this season. They're going to come back next year. I think they're going to be a stronger team next year.
They'll be very good next year.
You're seeing a lot of these teams that are on the borderline going to look really good next year.
I think Penn Trafford, Chris Cerruti, I can't tell you what a fine job he's done there. A former player at Penn State. Chris, unfortunately, they lost Jack Hughes for the season with a separated shoulder. That really curtailed their playoff run. But, Penn Trafford's going to be heard from in the future. There's no question about it.
And there's another one on the docket today that's probably the most important game that I'm going to have to keep an eye on. West Allegheny and Baldwin.
Oh, yeah.
That's a huge game. Right now, with the way Baldwin is playing, I say that West Allegheny Montour right now, I'm not shooing them in for a qualifier game. I really believe that one of those two teams is going to have the magic touch against Baldwin in one of these two games, because tonight it's going to be West Allegheny. Next Monday on Berg Hockey Live, and yes, Berg Hockey Live, we will be at RMU for Franklin Regional and West Allegheny.
Uh-oh.
and Montour Baldwin next week. So we will be on site for those 2 games on Monday night. So that's
yeah,
just
and those
huge.
are going to be the West Allegheny game is crucial for West Allegheny at this point. Every point for Montour. Both those teams. The shame is, Mitch, that one of those teams is probably going to sit out in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But let me tell you this. I think if West Allegheny gets in the show, they're going to give Baldwin all they can handle.
Oh, absolutely. And
we saw what they did with Latrobe, and I think they can handle Baldwin.
And I'm looking forward to whatever happens at the, if we have qualifiers down the road. And I put in my requests for our broadcast the remainder of the seasons. Those will start leaking out here soon. Once I get the okay from who we're going to be following. But, broadcast-wise, and we will be signing off at the end of the season for our broadcast. So as we hand it over to the Trib and for the broadcast. But we're looking around, and, it's been a fun season so far, but we're not done yet.
Well,
so
I might have an opportunity for you. We'll talk about after the game.
All right, face-off won by North Allegheny.
Open
up the third. Paragary coming into the zone. Paragary behind and around. Chi will let it go behind. Hit the camera there. Gallo battles around with Lamarck. Lamarck back behind, finds Connor Chi. Back to the point, Lamarck. Back around, looking for Paragary in front. What a steal by Duda. He got a glove on it.
Terrific save on Will Paraguay right there. He got his glove down, and Paraguay tried to lift it up over him. Duda made a terrific save on that.
Highway robbery from point-blank range by Duda.
Yeah, the next goal is huge in this game.
Yeah. It's the momentum goal at that point. North Allegheny can put them away and have to start, Bethel Park's not a really high offensive output team. So that's one thing going against them here. You can't get down 2-0 to North Allegheny, especially the way North Allegheny can clamp down.
Yep.
If they get into situational, that's the one thing North Allegheny does so well is they play several versions of situational hockey very well.
And having the lead's one of them.
Yeah. They had a lot of practice with that this season.
Yes, sir.
McClendon will pass it behind for Hanlon. Hanlon will just dump it down, finds Paragary. Here he comes into the zone through the circles, throws it in front for Lamarck. Saved by Duda, rebound, score! Lamarck.
Well, listen, you can't leave. Paraguay made a great play to stretch up the ice, but he was very sure of staying on side. And he did stay on side, and then he was able to capture the puck, and he found Lamarck. And Lamarck's a big-time goal scorer that's going to put the puck in the net, and he followed his own rebound, and he lifted it up over Duda, and it's 2-0.
And that was a good play by Duda to get the first save on the play, but unfortunately that rebound pass just bounced exactly where it needed to go for Duda. And now more friendly fire, this time from Bethel Park, as who was that to try to take out McVeigh?
Yeah.
That was Jacob Lang attempted to take out
He
McVeigh.
better know what's better for him. He doesn't want to be shooting pucks at Coach McVeigh.
Not sure if that had anything to do with playing time or no, I'm kidding. It's just a joke. Nobody feel like a referee. Denny Urban. It's probably the first time he's been upended in a couple years in a game. Denny Urban falls over during that play. Bethel Park will battle behind. Mark will throw it up, and it's going to go out for Teets. Teets dumps it down. Fuchs will battle with him, and it's going to go for an icing call. Wow. Didn't see that coming. 15:32 remaining in the third period.
It'll be interesting to see how much Bethel Park has to open it up now. It's 2-0. Usually you'll see a lot of stretch passes. You may see the McClendons move up right for an extended period of time. It'll be interesting to see how Jim McVeigh plays this.
Gentile will pass it in, and it's going to go to Sipple, who just throws a backhand into the corner where it's collected by knocked out and collected by Holmes, who dumps it back into the zone. An icing call against North Allegheny there. 8:14 rain. Reminder, up next, we'll start immediately after this one on the next page on berghockey.com. It is Avonworth Senior Night. You can join in for the festivities. I'll have the
There's Putnam with it.
Putnam will collect and dump it in. I was saying before my stream rudely interrupted on me and decided to kick out. You can join us immediately after this game. Up North Here comes Bethel Park the other way.
Well, that was a good chance right
Good
there.
play opportunity there by McClendon. It's going to go the other way. Putnam, don't give him too much of an opportunity. Slash stick out. Duda's going to bounce it around. It's going to bounce around. It's going to bounce off Duda. They're going to call it before it bounces in. That was
interesting.
An interesting play. Almost. No, that's not a goal. They tried to play the goal horn here and sway the opinion of the crowd. No, what happened there was the net was off also at the beginning, but it bounced on net. Duda was aware of it. I was wondering why he played it so lackadaisical, because that was a high-risk opportunity if that one slid into the net. And North Allegheny is going to go on a power play here.
This is just a critical penalty kill for Bethel Park here. North Allegheny is going to look to put the dagger into Bethel right here.
Face-off coming up to the left of Duda. Paragary went it back for Gallo to Lamarck. Lamarck shot through Duda. Paragary tries to hit it in, does not happen. Bounces out of the zone, goes the length. Gallo has 2 orange jerseys on him if they try. Teets tries to get it off of him, but Gallo is going to collect it. Nice little play to get around first defender. Lamarck's going to carry it back in onside. Lamarck waits, blocked by McClendon. He loses it in his body as he was falling down. Sipple behind the net. Sipple looking for Lamarck. Across for Gallo. Gallo passes around for Sipple. Sipple shoots. Scores!
Terrific puck movement there by North Allegheny.
Nice.
You see how they used the points there, Mitch? Mm-hmm. It was Lamarck and Gallo that set that up, and they caught Lamarck right in his sweet spot. He just buried it.
Absolutely beautiful shot by Lamarck from our angle, like I said.
Or was that Sipple? I'm sorry.
That was Sipple.
It was Sipple.
We're staring right down Main Street on a lot of these goals where they're shooting from, so we're able to see the angles that he has. And that was just a great shot.
Well, we talked earlier about the puck movement between the points. Mm-hmm. You had to use the points to open Bethel Park up, and you saw that exactly on that play there.
Face-off won by Bethel Park into the zone. Hanlon will have to collect it. Back behind. Attempt by Strang. Battles off with Hanlon. They get tied up behind the net, thrown in front. Boyles is going to hold on to it. It's going to bounce back out of the crease where Gallo will get it for Leitner. Leitner lets it go. Gallo will battle along out for Leitner. Another 4th line shift here for Bagnotto. Leitner, nice little play to get around the defenders. Taken off his skates by Lang. Tyler Miller for Leitner. Leitner's able to keep it in the zone. Passes it up for Mellett. Mellett back to Gallo. Gallo shoots, bounces around. Save made, bounces around. Opportunity for Collinear. Has to go back into his zone. Collinear passes behind the net. Mellett can't get to it. Back around for Leitner. And Gallo will wait. Holds on to it. Mellett will take it, dump it back in. Where it's collected by Bethel Park and carried out. Strang.
Good shift by the 4th line of North Allegheny right there. But one thing you see, Mike Magnato is an experienced coach. He had 2 of his top defensemen out there in Gallo and Hanlon.
Mm-hmm. It's still 12 minutes to go in this one, 13 minutes to go in this one, and you got a 3-0 lead, but 2 quickies, and this is a game. For Luke McClendon, gets it over for Wondrisco. Wondrisco will shoot wide of the net. Behind the net, bounced around. Throw it for Teets, but Teets isn't able to collect it, so it's going to go out to Washabaugh. Washabaugh carrying it in, dumped it in behind the net. Ryan McClendon will collect it. Carried out of the zone. McClendon bounces it off, finds Luke. Luke McClendon. The zone shot on. Saved by Boyles. Fuchs will collect it, carry it behind the net. But he's going to switch up, go back to the outside, and he's going to find Paragary in the center.
Nice pass.
Nice pass for Paragary, but offside was Connor Chi with 12:15 remaining in the 3rd period.
One thing you're seeing with North Allegheny right now, Mitch, is you're seeing they're really rotating the lines quickly. On and off. Get the puck deep. On and off. Mm-hmm. What that does is that picks up the pace of this game, and it opens Bethel Park up a little bit more. But that's Mike's looking to run this clock down, and he's looking for quick shifts.
Connor Chi battles along center. It's going to be picked up by Gunther. Just tries to dump into the zone. He's going to be able to collect it. Gunther brings it on, bounces it around, tries to knock it down. Gentile is able to get to it and gets it over to Paragary, but it's going to go out of the zone where McClendon will collect it. Blocked off. Paragary just takes it and turns it the other way on net. Duda will hold on to it, and we'll have a face-off coming up to the right of the Bethel Park net. 11:44 remaining, third period. Once again, it is Berg Hockey Live. This is our continuing coverage of PIHL hockey on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest, berghockey.com tonight. I'm Brian Mitchell. I'm joined by Jeff Morrow, who's helping me out on color commentary. By chance tonight, we're an equal opportunity volunteerism here. Shot on by Putnam, held on to, but dropped.
And glad to do it.
Yeah, glad to have you on today. Jeff's known more about high school hockey. That's a goal by Sipple once again, 4-0. Just another fired in by Sipple. Good shot, and it's 4-0.
Well, North Allegheny's opening up now.
Yeah.
And they're starting to move the puck. And they have a lot of fresh players. And Mike Magnato will use his third and fourth line to keep his players fresh. And that's what he learned last year in his state championship final run, was that he had to have a third and fourth line to be able to keep his top guys fresh for these games. We're going to have a goaltending switch now.
Luke Duda will leave the net and will make way for, and that will be that's Luke Duda going into the net. Did I have Logan Dahlstrom completely?
Logan Dahlstrom was the starting goal. Yeah,
I apologize.
I
apologize to everybody for that. That's my fault. Logan Dahlstrom was the starter here tonight. I don't know why I said that. That was his. He had a 183 with a 926 playing here tonight in 2 games played. Once again, I very much apologize to everybody out there from Bethel Park for.
Well, Dahlstrom played a pretty nice game here tonight. He kept his team in the game early on. He made a couple of fine saves here early in the third period. But North Allegheny got those 2 quick goals, Mitch. Yeah. And that kind of opened things up for North Allegheny. Juan
Driscoll will warm up Duda, and I'm at loss for words that I made that mistake.
Hey, that happens to the best of us, buddy.
Wow. So it happens we don't see a team that often. And I saw the one, and I thought, automatically. So, oh, well. You make mistakes every once in a while.
Yeah, that's part of the business.
This is my rookie year still myself, so I'm going to make mistakes.
You're strong. You're doing well.
It's still my rookie year, so I'll live, I'll learn. I'll hopefully not make that mistake again. So
Logan and Duda will forgive you for that one.
All right. So back and forth, face-off one. Luke Duda in the net now for Bethel Park. And he has the .849 save percentage, 3-4 on the season, and almost 400 minutes played on the season. 359.26 is the exact number for that this year.
So this locks down the #1 seed for North Allegheny?
No. This locks down a home playoff game for North Allegheny.
Okay.
They're still in a massive battle with Upper St. Clair, but Upper St. Clair does have, North Allegheny does have a tiebreaker. They have the head-to-head on side of 2 5-4 victories.
I see.
2 5-4 victories over Upper St. Clair. So North Allegheny does have the head-to-head. So Upper St. Clair would have to beat them straight up by points.
Okay.
But it is
still a battle.
Yeah. And I apologize to everybody. I keep calling Upper St. Clair Seneca Valley. I had to give myself a hard time there. No laugh from Jeff. All right. I still got to call another game here. Trying to lighten it up on myself. Calling the wrong goaltender. Leitner is going to take a top of the circle shot just wide of the net. Nice shot there by Leitner. Just a little too much on it.
Yeah, this line's played well. O'Neill with Mark and Leitner. They've given Mike some good minutes tonight, good quality minutes. They've kept the play up in the Bethel Park zone, and that's what he expects from his fourth line.
Cleared out. Luke McClendon will take it in, dump it behind Boyles. Just lets it go out of the zone, and Leitner chases it down once again. Good effort there by Leitner, just chip it back behind the net.
Yeah, he's a young player, sophomore. You're going to see a lot of in the North Allegheny uniform over the next few years.
Look forward to it. Luke McClendon will come in. Don't make me say Duda again. Gallo behind the net. Turn around. Wondrisco tries to stuff it in around Boyles, who's going to go wide. Wondrisco, the top of the circles, passes it across. Ryan McClendon blocked on. Back and around. Cleared out of the zone by Hanlon. Hanlon across for Lamarck. Lamarck shot scores.
You give Lamarck that room, you can, it's sayonara.
He just picked Duda And it's 5-0.
North Allegheny's a team that if you let their top guys get open chances, they're going to bury. Putnam, Sipple, we've seen nice shots out of Sipple tonight. Lamarck, Paraguay's another kid that can shoot the puck.
Yep.
Those 4 kids are top 6 forwards on any team that I know of.
Face off one forward by Bethel Park, but North Allegheny will collect it. Stomps it back into the neutral zone. Paraguay trying to get it out and just bounces along to the boards. Out for Mensch. Mensch for Fuchs. Fuchs. Turn around and Paraguay will battle along with Mensch. It gets closer, and we discussed that a couple times about the, that number 1 seed and how it's going to be important. And at this point, North Allegheny, they'll have 29 points after today. So if you move along and you think about it, the best that Upper St. Clair can do is tie them, but the tiebreaker will go to Allegheny. So they have to hope for a straight-up points win at this point if you're looking at the playoff seeding. And for Bethel Park, it's still not the end of the world. They just need 2 points. I think then they have 3 games left after today.
Okay.
So it's not the end of the world to be where they're at. Let me look at those and make sure I'm 100% sure on what's happening there.
Well, I know Bethel Park has a lot of pride in the number of playoff years, and I don't think that they missed the playoffs in the time that I've been covering them, which is going on 22 years. So I expect them to get in the playoffs. There's no question about it.
Bethel Park will have 3 games on after this one, so they have plenty of time. They just need 2 points. They need to get 1 win to be able to say, hey, we at least get a tie with Mount Lebanon, or if Mount Lebanon drops a game the rest of the way.
Yeah.
So then they would automatically be in. So that's a sigh of relief for Bethel Park at this point. Still got a while to go in this one. And
well, I think one of the things that Mike Bagnato wants is he wants that number 1 seed. Because what that does is it shores him number 1 a home game in the second round of the playoffs or the first round of the playoffs. Yeah. But it also means that he's going to I don't know if they're going straight bracket or
I believe they go straight bracket.
Okay.
It is straight bracket in AAA. So
you'll get the 4 or 5 seed.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll get the winner of the 4 or 5 seed, and then the opposite, the other 2 will play in the final seed. There's no reseeding, so I believe they play straight through on their brackets. So
and I'm not sure who's battling Cathedral Prep for that 5th seed, 4th and 5th seed.
Well, right now, here's what it looks like. In 3rd place with 22 points, tied is Peters Township and Cannon McMillan.
Okay.
Cathedral Prep's tied for 5th place with Seneca Valley at 21 points. And Pine Richland, with 6 games left, has 17 points.
Who's at 4th?
Right now, by wins, by Cannon McMillan.
Okay.
Peters Township sitting in 3rd.
I tell you what, Rick.
They all have 17 games played except for Pine Richland.
Team I wouldn't want to face in the playoffs in a second round matchup would be
Pig hit in the neutral
Peters
zone.
Township. I would not want to play them.
Oh, absolutely not right now. And
Yep.
they're just firing on all cylinders. And it's actually how scary good, we get a little bit of opportunity because how we built Berg Hockey Live was based off of the Peters Township broadcast, and we got to see a lot of them. So we get to see how they played, and all of a sudden now, we see how they've, developed into the season. And it was a tough start for them, but they've come on late. So
well, it's an interesting coaching philosophy that Rick Tingle has, and I'll share this with the audience. Rick starts his season in November, okay? So he takes 30 kids on his varsity team, and he's to the season when they get to Jamestown, he's finally picked his top 20 guys, and that's in early December. And then for the stretch run, because he's confident he's going to make the playoffs no matter what.
Right.
And he'll give up a few games to find the right players and the right mix of players going down towards the end of the season. It's an interesting philosophy that he has that because of the numbers, and of course they have 2 JV teams and 2 middle school teams. They have a lot of kids in that Peters Township program. So he doesn't want to miss a late bloomer. Oh, there's
That's
a
a
goal.
goal.
For Bethel Park. 26 on the goal.
That's Aiden Gorman, his first goal. I believe that would be his first varsity goal, I'm guessing.
Maybe.
Possibly this season at least. He's played 9 games. This is game number 10 for him. So he just became eligible for the postseason. But he had an assist on the year, so he got his first there in front in Bethel Park. 5-1.
Good for him.
Good to see.
And what year is he?
I had to look that up.
Okay. We'll work on one thing at a time.
I don't have the.
We were talking about Peters Township.
I don't look at class ranks until I absolutely have to. So let's see what we got there. Gorman. Once it loads. Gorman is a sophomore.
Yeah, young player. And then this is what Jim McVeigh builds for the future all the time.
That was his first PIHL goal, varsity level. Congratulations, kid.
Yeah, awesome.
Another big hit in the neutral zone, Teal.
He's tied with me for 30,000 in career. I had 1 goal in high school, so he's tied with me. For 30,000th place.
Congratulations. You're in elite company.
At least for this week, until he scores his second goal next week.
Nice glove save by Boyles on Bueller. And, like, you look along, and I like what I see out of the younger Bethel Park players, especially, you know, there's a lot to like going forward for this program. And
well, we talked about Rick Single's philosophy, and that was born out of Jim McVeigh. Jim McVeigh was the guy that dressed 24, 25 guys at the varsity level, and he always had guys rotating into and keeping them hungry to get them in the lineup. And there's Gorman's a fine example of a kid that probably on the JV team, and he got a chance to play at the varsity level and gets his first varsity goal. Good for him.
And you look at some of these, some of these players that are playing tonight. Lang, their defense, Strang, Palacio, and Lang are sophomores and freshmen. So they're very young on the defensive side of the puck. Bueller's a sophomore. Miller's a senior. Masari's a junior. So they're built to go for another year or 2 here. Especially continue to move along. So
you're going to see a surge in Bethel Park hockey here over the next 3 to 7 years. There's a lot of young kids that, and they've built a Pittsburgh Penguins Foundation, built a deck down at South Park, and now all the YMCA kids are playing deck hockey in Bethel Park. And you're going to see a surge in Bethel Park hockey over the next 3 to 10 years that you've never seen before. You're going to see a lot of kids playing hockey.
Yeah. And as a guy who grew up playing a lot of deck hockey, that's Putnam shoots wide in the net. I've seen it. I've seen the players. I've played against players that I've covered in the adult league at Penn Hills. So that's a goal by Putnam, and it's 6-1. I played against a couple players that I've actually covered.
Did you have fun playing against them?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's always a fun time playing. Always a fun time playing. The fun stopped when I gained 40 pounds, though. Well, I tried to come back this last year.
My career ended when that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave up playing and started coaching.
Yeah. And that's why I'm here doing this now.
Yeah, this is fun.
This is a good little trade-off.
Yes, it is.
You stay involved in the sport, you love it, and you get to watch it and cover it as much as you want. And that's what keeps me going at this point. Face off one back the point and cleared in. And at 6-1, yeah, we're having a little conversation here, but, we're keeping it light, trying to keep it relevant to what's going on the ice. And like I said, with these young players, and you see it, it's good to see every year. Just grow the new names. And we were mentioning a team earlier, and that was that Pine Richland team and how well they're playing. They graduated 17 seniors. 16 came off of their varsity squad last year.
Wow.
So, that was that state championship national quarterfinalist. And, being able to watch that and, to watch what they're doing this season up a little bit higher.
It all goes down to development. And Pine, everybody does things a little differently. Pine Richland's a program that at the middle school level has 2 teams, have a couple of JV teams. They have an abundance of numbers, and it's almost as if this group's going to replace the next group's going to replace the next group.
It's cyclical. I always say it's cyclical. You get nothing ever gets old because you get a new talent. Teams perform differently each season. New scenarios go on. They redesign. That's how they're set in there. The conferences, things like that, keeps it fun. And that one's coming in just a bit
Mitch,
outside.
that was a grounder for you. I thought you were going to scoop that one up.
That one was coming in.
Reach right over the screen and scoop it up.
At that point, I thought that was going to take out the camera. Did not do so. So
I had the backhand ready for the.
You do that a little bit earlier, guys, whenever I mispronounce which goaltenders you have, okay? If you're going to get me at the beginning of the game so I don't make it, out of myself.
We're having a whole lot of fun here.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah, so back out to the point. Kalinier will take it for Leitner. Leitner and Kalinier, the fourth liners, are back out there for Mike Bagnato. Gets dumped behind the net. And Bethel Park will try to get it out, picked up by Mellett. Mellett dumps it behind the net. Speaking of players who have been targeted today by their own teammates, Mellett has 2 clearing attempts directly at him on the bench. Fuchs will take it, dump it across for Kalinier, just bounces off of him and behind the net. Chased down by Palacio. Palacio will dump it all the way down. It's going to get to the neutral zone. Knocked out by Washabaw, who just dumps it in for Bueller. Bueller behind the net, bounces it off what I thought was going to hit the glass and out. It did hit the glass and out, but hit an awkward spot of the glass and out. So they're going to take a face-off all the way in the zone.
The one thing that you see about North Allegheny is that they systematically took this game over. Mm-hmm. They waited for their opportunity. They were patient, and then they started moving that puck very well. And then they opened up Bethel Park and scored a couple of wide-open chances by some terrific shooters, Simple and Lamarck. And, they took control of this game. And for the teams that faced them, that's what they're going to be facing. They're going to have to pick their poison when they're going up against Simple's line or Lamarck's line. They have 2 strong lines, but the use of that 3rd and 4th line by Mike Bagnato keeps these players fresh and ready to go and ready to fire. And this line here tonight, O'Neill, Mark, and Washabaw has played a fine game. They really have.
They have, and they're getting opportunities out there to show that they can play a fine game, and that's a big thing to see, especially this late. Now we're getting a little bit of tomfoolery beside the net here.
Yeah, O'Neill's a senior. He's the kind of kid that you're probably going to see in a local ACHA program here next year.
They're out of the zone and back down, and we're, of course, expanding into the ACHA recently, so it's good to see. You'll see a lot of these names hopefully going forward in the collegiate ACHA level. So try to keep an eye on where everybody ends up. Leitner's going to be back out there with Hanlon. Dumps it across for Mellett. Mellett brings down Eider. Eider will collect it. It was off Kalinier, and it goes back out to Gallo at center. Gallo will just hold on to it, dump it into the near corner.
Well, here's a good thing that you're seeing out of Mike Bagnato right now. He just went line 3, line 4, line 3, line 4. He put them out. He's getting them experience. He's letting them take this game down to the wire and see what they can do with it. They have a comfortable lead, but they want to see how responsible each of these players is, in the final minute of a game. And you see a terrific job by Mike Bagnato, coaching, giving experience to players.
Leitner will collect and just dump it down.
And again, on the back line, you had Hanlon and Gallo.
Yep. That was an icing on the play. Leitner collected it at the center and just dumped it in behind the net. And shot on by Bethel Park off the faceoff. Back to the point. Bueller throws it through, bounces around, past Boyles, and it's going to go into the near corner. 1 second to go, and this one is over. Final score 6-1 here. North Allegheny clinches a home playoff game in the postseason. So we got something coming up next, and that is going to be our Class B matchup. It's going to be Avonworth and it's going to be Central Valley. And let me see if it means a lot for Central Valley. Or
yeah, you can check your scoreboard now. You have a couple minutes here.
Well, we have senior day for Avonworth. They're immediately going to roll right into it, so I'm going to have to switch over the feed real fast. But give me a second, and I will do that. The two teams will shake their hands, and we'll have it. And in that Class B matchup, what is going to happen in this post one? Baierl, 9, Wilmington 4.
Yeah, it looks like Tyler Stewart got loose. They must have dressed Tyler Stewart for the
Tyler
second
Stewart's dressed. He had 4 goals in the third period alone. So Palumbo had 3. Stewart had 4. So Baierl put up 6 goals in the third period. Stewart had 4 of them.
And is Baierl in the playoff picture?
Baierl is the team that Central Valley's chasing.
Okay.
So it's going to be a really tight race there. Okay, we thank you guys for watching here on Berg Hockey Live. Final score from Baierl Ice Complex. North Allegheny 6, Bethel Park 1. I'm Brian Mitchell. That was Jeff Morrow.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Mitch. It was a pleasure, and hopefully we get when you're done with the feed over, I want to talk to you about something real quick.
No problem. We'll switch over to the next feed.
I appreciate it. It's always a pleasure being with you.
All right, we will see you back here in a moment on the other page on berghockey.com.